Alright guys, so obviously we're going to be leaving more things in jars, as we do. So today's episode is going to be kind of like a reverse of what we normally do. Typically we'll pick a liquid and then leave 5 different things in that liquid. Today I have 5 of the same thing, but I'm going to leave it in 5 different liquids. So kind of a cool little change up. So what we're going to be leaving is cell phones. I have 5 cell phones. They are all the exact same, so no need to unbox every single one of them for you, but don't need that. You've seen these probably before in my rock tumbling video. These are the U Shining cell phones. They're very cheap. I think they're like $15 or something. So I got 5 of these. They're very cheap plastic. I will not be leaving the batteries in them, just because I don't want an explosion or anything crazy to happen, especially like if I'm not home or something. So no batteries, it'll be just the phones. They come with a charger and all this other stuff that we're not gonna use. These are the phones. We're gonna put them all in jars. So now the liquids that I will be leaving these phones in. The first one, acetone. I fully expect this acetone hopefully to just turn the phone into just disintegrate it to nothing. Our second liquid, and I don't know that this will do anything, but I'm very curious. It is a premium paint and epoxy remover. I figure it should be some pretty intense stuff. Hopefully it does something. Our third liquid, lighter fluid. Now these next 2 are the interesting ones. This one in particular. Next is going to be hydrochloric acid, which is, it says, industrial grade, 32% purity. So from what I could find online, that's supposed to be extremely strong. So hopefully it does something cool. And last but not least, we have liquid fire drain line opener. It says danger, poison, causes severe burns, corrosive to eyes, skin, has all kinds of warnings. So I figure that'll be pretty good. So let's get these phones in these jars. Alright, so let's get these jars filled up. Alright, we've got all the jars filled up, and there's a couple of these things that surprised me. This, the liquid fire, I picked all these liquids because I thought they were all clear. I didn't expect the liquid fire to be this color, and for some reason, whatever this is, acid or whatever it is, it's extremely heavy. It's way heavier than the lighter fluid. It's probably half, I'd say. This paint and epoxy remover, I did not in a million years expect this to be some type of gel. Whenever I picked it up in the store and I shook it, I swear I thought it sounded like the acetone, like a liquid. So it is what it is. We'll see you in 30 days. So now that it has been 30 days, let's start digging into these jars, see what's inside. We're going to start off first with our acetone. From what I can see through the jar, it looks like it's just kind of dissolved. See what we have here. I think it is just pretty much dissolved. Yeah, the case. It's like it's dissolved, but not all the way. It's like a tender piece of meat. You just barely touch it and it just falls apart. There's the buttons. Oh, surprisingly, the button pad. Nothing really wrong with it. Well, actually I see some cracks and stuff in there. Maybe it's kind of weak. Not too bad. whatever this is, same story as the rest. It just kind of falls apart. Oh, look at that. The whole thing just crumbles. All the coating, all the rubber coating right on the wires, just peels right off. Ooh, whatever this is, has like a, I don't know if this is like some type of a gel, or if the acetone just turned whatever this is into a gel. I think this is the screen. It's kind of hard to tell because it's all just dissolved. Yeah, I'd say that's part of the screen. Maybe the backlight or something. But it doesn't seem... Oh, that just separated. It doesn't seem to have any, like, crazy damage done to it. It's just kind of... It seems pretty fine. And the circuit board seems pretty much fine. Yeah, it doesn't feel like it's more brittle than it would have been before or anything. That's what acetone does. Pretty much just dissolves the whole thing, as you would expect. Next up is the paint and epoxy remover, which I know I said in the beginning was kind of a surprise that it was a gel. Still kind of surprised. And looking from the outside, obviously you can see, I'm almost positive whenever I first put it in here, it was pretty much completely clear, and then now it's like a really dark brown. And to be honest, it looks like it did the same thing as the acetone. It looks like it just kind of completely dissolved it. I'm hoping this doesn't react with the aluminum. Oh, wow. That, like, liquefied the phone. I was expecting it to be kind of like the acetone, where, like, it was just... Oh, there's still more in there. Oh, the number pad's in there. That's what I want. I want to feel that number pad. It's still... There's still pieces in here that are just, like... Just, like, liquefied to the jar. I'm really interested with this number pad. Wow. This number pad doesn't... I was going to say it doesn't seem to be affected. I take that back. I think it's been a little bit affected. Then the rest of it, I mean, it looks it's just, there's not a whole lot to say. It's just all, you can see it's just all been reduced down except for just a very few components. The screen, I believe this is the screen. That still seems to be in one piece. The circuit board still seems to be in one piece. Doesn't seem like a whole lot happened to it. But the rest of it, you can see right here, it's just like a paste. It's just completely dissolved into this like thick, like tar-looking substance. So the paint and epoxy remover pretty much dissolved everything except for the screen. That seems to be, I wouldn't say it's perfectly fine, but it seems to be still pretty good. And then number pad, river, and the circuit board. Everything else, everything that's plastic, just completely dissolved and all goopy. And our next jar, of course, is the lighter fluid, which honestly doesn't look like anything has happened to it. Whenever I look through the jar, I can kind of see that it looks like the numbers, like the number pad's swollen and cracked. I can assume that maybe since in the original video where I left everything in lighter fluid, all the plastic stuff kind of got really hard. So I'm kind of assuming the same thing is happening. And that was a pretty good indication that that is probably what's happening. Okay, for one, the number pad is definitely swollen, 100%. This is like, that must be stuck on with some type of like an adhesive or something, because that just fell right off. Yeah, there we go. So that's the back, and that, actually the back casing, let's see if I can break it. No, it actually doesn't break. I'm gonna say that's probably in the same condition it was to begin with. The circuit board and everything looks completely fine. I would like to get this piece off. Got some safety glasses and a screwdriver. Don't want to get anything in our eyes whenever we're prying this stuff apart. I think this part's held on with screws. Come on, I just want the number pad. That's all I want. Oh, I think we might be getting it. Oh, it ripped. Alright, there we go. For the most part, we have the number pad. Oh, I see the problem. The numbers, where the numbers have swollen up so much, they've swollen up through the plastic cover, whereas normally if you took that plastic cover off, the number pad would just sit down into that plastic, but since it's so swollen, it can't do that. Wow, the rubber's really deteriorated. So far that's the first thing between the acetone and the paint and epoxy remover to really hurt that rubber. But on the other hand, that's pretty much all it's done. I mean, the circuit board looks completely fine. Everything else looks completely fine. Some of the adhesive might be a little weaker. Some of the plastic might be a little bit harder. But that's it. So, lighter fluid really didn't do a whole lot. Alright, now this next one actually kind of worries me a little bit. As you can see, I don't have the aluminum tray because I don't exactly know how this would react with aluminum. So I figured a nice metal tray would probably be the best option. So obviously the next one is hydrochloric acid. Something I don't really have any experience with. So I don't exactly know how dangerous it is. So we're going to be putting on some safety glasses for sure. It seems to have rusted the cap. I don't know how I feel about that. I have been advised to not dump it out, but to just pull the phone out. I don't know if you can hear that, but it's like sizzling. Oh. Okay, let's put that there. Then let's put that way over there. Because that has a weird smell to it. Oh, this whole area has a weird smell. Let's just do it. Let's see what's going on here. I honestly don't think there's been a whole lot done, to be honest. Man, whatever that smell is, I don't think that's good. Alright, so since there's this weird smell that I don't like, you can see that not a whole lot happened. Looked like maybe some rust. Maybe some things got eaten up a little bit. We're gonna cut this one a little bit short, and because not a whole lot happened, and I'm going to ventilate the garage because I do not like the smell that's in here. So now that I've cut the garage all aired out, that leaves us with our last jar, which is our jar with liquid fire. So I'm going to attempt to do the same thing with this one that I did with the other one. Ooh, I don't know if I'll be able to. I was just going to try to reach in and pull the phone out. I think this one is in pieces too. I hope this pan has enough area to hold all the liquid from this jar. Because if not, I think we're going to be in trouble. Okay, the jar is empty. And this has a weird smell to it too. But this, oh look at this. Look at this back case right here. This whole thing is just like all rubbery. See if we can rip it, yeah. Oh, that's just like the, kind of how the acetone was. That's pretty cool. Not only did it make it rubberized, or not rubberized, it didn't make it rubberized, but it made it like a really floppy piece of rubber. It did the same thing to the whole. This is a lot like the acetone. I wonder if, I didn't look to see what liquid fire had in it. I wonder if it has acetone in it. Because it's, or it's something that's kind of like acetone. The little cover where the number pad is, that doesn't seem like it's been affected too much. That's that. That's another piece of that. This almost looks like engine oil just laying in here. Every plastic piece is dissolved. Or not dissolved, but it's all just made like it's like it's been brought to like whatever the stage is right before it turns into just like a mush, whatever that would be. Every single one of these things, the screen has always been fine. So whatever they make these screens out of, it has to be really tough. Oh, you know what? I think this is the circuit board. This is the first one I think that's like made the circuit board like rubbery like this. So that's cool. I mean, for the name, liquid fire, it's pretty much done what you would expect that it would do, just kind of like dissolve everything. All the places on my gloves are getting really hot. So I think this might be reacting with my gloves. All right, so whatever's in this stuff definitely reacts with the gloves, because the fingertips on all 10 of my fingertips that had touched the liquid fire and were in the gloves started getting really hot. I did get the gloves off and none got on me, so everything's fine. But that is very strange. I would have thought that this wouldn't react with whatever the gloves are made of. So that's all I got for this one. If there's anything else that you want to see me leave inside of anything else in a jar for 30 days, leave a comment down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.